So Sage is also bringing AI into its operations, and it has been bringing AI into its operations with the launch of Sage Copilot. But this time it's Sage Copilot to Sage Operations. So the cloud platform for manufacturing and distribution. So it's a very familiar pitch in terms of what we've seen it doing across the board, and the technology, better visibility across the stock, orders, fulfilment, earlier warnings on bottlenecks, and fewer manual checks. So the Copilot surfaces the risks inside the day-to-day workflows so that the teams don't have to stitch together the insights across the different systems. But what is notable is the framing. So it's domain specific for advice embedded into operational data. So Sage is positioning Copilot as a step towards more autonomous agentic workflows that helps the teams act sooner and with protecting service levels and scaling without the admin headache. So the promise seems very sensible, but I guess and it's to a point that you made on the last podcast anyway, accountants in general, stay clear-eyed, need to, continue. It's not out of the realms of what we're working in at the moment. Everyone sees the cost of AI slop when the tools overreach without having the right context. The Sage's advantage in this is control, so closed data, define workflows, and accountability. So if the Copilot stays firmly in the role of signal and support and not an unsupervised decision maker, which if anybody is doing that, then why? But it's a net positive overall for the software. The bigger question is trust and governance. So as the tools edge towards taking control of the actions, not just flagging the issues, the next step we can probably see is that we'll want clarity on audit trails, overrides, liabilities, making sure the cover on those liabilities is right, upgrading your insurance. Used properly, this kind of AI reduces the operational noise. Used carelessly is probably exactly what we expect. Risks moving errors faster through the system. But the direction makes sense. And I think that so long as we know human oversight remains a deliberate design choice, which to your very well put point on, when we had textbooks, it's not like you could blame the textbook for the mistake that you made as an accountant. So, but yeah, it looks super interesting. To the point that we were just talking about in terms of how Sage is valued, this is a clear breakaway when you compare this to how Xero are implementing AI into their technology. It feels like these guys are much further ahead. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree with you. Although I think the challenge is, particularly when you look at Sage products, it's so difficult to compare the leading products and and sort of compare and contrast their AI implementation, because some of it's under the hood, some of it's in your face in the user interface, and we know that some of the stuff that all of these companies, whether it's Sage, Xero, Intuit, etc., have been pushing out. Some of it has failed, which is fine. I mean, that's just part of the development curve and the experimentation side of things. And some of it has started to be more successful. I guess what we are seeing, like you say, is like some deviation in how these technologies are applied and what that means. And I guess ultimately for me, what I'd like to see all of these products doing is getting closer to the users and actually making sure that what they're building is really, really useful for us, whether it's accountants or businesses, so that they are improving workflows and automating things that are fundamentally like a waste of time in terms of data input or human input. But whilst keeping, like as you said, the other side of it, which is the oversight and the management side of things, where a human is needed in these things. I feel at the moment that that's not being done particularly well. I don't think any of these firms or any of these businesses are engaging particularly well with the user base, and so that is, for me, the risk at the moment is just build without any real focus on what is it that the users want, and how does that work. And let's not forget that whilst AI is really, really exciting, there are still some like fundamental product features or product capabilities missing from all of these products. All of the GLs that we look at and stuff, there are still missing links that need to be fixed as well. And so whilst there's clearly a prioritization of AI functionality and capability, it'd be nice actually just to fix some of the missing bits as well of the jigsaw, and so you'd have a much clearer picture as a consequence.